Recently, I attended the world's largest event for wealth managers. It was called Future Proof. And while I was there, I was solicited by a behavioral finance coach. So it's hard to say. And he was looking to get his services into our organization so we could help people better. And he asked me a question that I'm embarrassed to say that I got wrong. Now, this question is basic. It's very basic. And the truth is, behavioral finance people know how to trick you. So I quickly shrugged off my wrong answer and moved on. I'm going to tell you what that question was, what my answer was, and see how you would answer that question. And I have to say, my answer was completely inaccurate. And I think I answered the way that many of you would answer. Now, the reason that this question is so important is it reveals the way that your ability to handle the stock market in your retirement plan. It really goes into how you are built and how you are anchored to respond. And I'm going to ask you that question and give you a second to respond here in a minute. But first, if we haven't met, I'm Nick Davis, founder of Brindle Bay. And we are thoughtful financial advisors who are here to help you retire with calmness and clarity. If you like this video, if you hit that subscribe button, you may see me more often in your inbox there for YouTube. So thanks for doing that, and thanks for liking it. All right, I'm going to show you what this question was. I'm going to tell it to you. I'm going to show you because there's a little bit of a visual here. So here it is. Given that the stock market has increased on average more than 9% per year, what range of returns do you believe the stock market will return over the next 12 months? He then showed me something that looked like the image that you see right there, the percentage to percentage. All right, now I'm embarrassed to tell you what I said, but first let's let you answer this question. Given that the stock market averages on average of 9% over the long term, which range of returns do you feel or believe that the stock market will give during the next 12 months? Give you a second to answer that. Just say a number out loud. Nobody will hear you. Okay, so what I said, and I immediately regretted it, was 2 to 7%. As soon as I said that, I knew, oh man, I totally missed that big time. I should not have said that. And he said, that's what most people say, actually. And that reveals that you don't really have a great expectation of what's going to happen, a very accurate expectation. Why is that? Now, me being in the profession that I'm in, maybe I would have, obviously I'm better informed than most people, but it was more of a gut reaction response in the moment to a stranger. So here's what we know, okay? So this is an info piece put out by Dimensional, and it shows stock market returns from 1926 to 2022. Since 1926, stock market has rewarded investors with an annualized return of about 10%, but returns in any given year may be sky high, extremely poor, or somewhat in between. If you look here, only 6 years have returns been even near the average. So out of all these years, almost 100 years, only 6 times were we near the average. Annual returns came within 2 percentage points of the market long-term average in just 6 of the past 97 years. Yearly returns have ranged as high as 54% and as low as 43%. So that's really the right answer, is negative 40 to positive 54. Since 1926, annual returns have been positive 71 times and negative 26 times. I'll point this out. It says, understanding the range of potential outcomes can help you stick with a plan. That was the problem, is that we didn't truly understand the range of return. Okay, so here's what we know. The stock market almost never comes in at the average return. Somebody said to me one time, I'm targeting, 7%. So he said something like, over the last couple of years, I've been targeting about 7%. And I've been pretty happy with that. And it left me thinking, what are you really thinking? Do you think that you got a 7% return and every year? So that's kind of how accurate you are with your investments. And the point is to clear this all up, right? So this behavioral finance coach, who also is a CFP, Basically, what did he say to me? He said, Nick, you're a CFP. You should have known better. What are you, stupid? No, he didn't say that. But what he did say is that we all have an anchoring bias, right? So if you were to say you believed it was a positive to a positive, like I did, and then this year the market finishes -20, that part of your brain would trigger and potentially cause you to maybe make some unwise decisions about your investments. And we should use this question to make ourselves aware of this anchor. So for example, after 2008 financial crisis, many people were anchoring for many years, 5 years and even longer, in the fear of, I just lost and it just barely is coming back. And that constant fear could influence them. On the flip side, after so much time has passed and there's been more than a decade of positive returns, there can be an anchoring towards this is the way, we're going to just constantly have positive returns. So we constantly have to zoom out and get a proper perspective on how things really work. So what did you answer? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to let you know what I think is the best answer. But before I do that, I want to let you know that it's not necessarily about the answer. It's really about what the answer can tell us. Because when we look at the answer, we can see how you're potentially anchored and how you might respond. Meaning you may be aware of the fact that the market has bad years and good years, but it might not really connect the dots in your brain. And sometimes simply by being asked that question, it can cause you to connect those dots better. Maybe you can stay the course to your plan better. I think the better answer is to just say, I don't know what it can be, right? What we know are the facts. We know the facts are that the market is volatile. The facts show us that the trend line for the market is up over long periods of time, but that means it's dangerous in the short period or volatile in the short period. And the facts tell us that we're not going to get close to the average in any one given year. We also know that volatility is the premium we pay, or the toll that we pay to get those returns. And the reason that we do it is so we can outpace inflation over the long term. That's unless we mess it up. So don't mess it up. But what about you? What if you're a stock market bomb waiting to explode because there's some anchoring in you that would cause you to really respond in a negative way? That's why I think it's important for financial planners to ask this question, is to try to discover what is your perspective on how things are in reality, because you don't want to be this person that's going to just blow up your plan. I think the biggest thing you can do, the biggest answer to this challenge, is to just check your perspective and acknowledge the facts. I think if we bring those facts back to the surface, we check our perspective, we see things more clearly and more accurately, and we're less likely to make unwise decisions about our overall plan and our portfolio. So if you're currently in retirement, you need to know how much you can afford to spend without the fear of running out. If you're near retirement, you need to know how much you're on track to be able to spend in retirement without the fear of running out. And what would need to happen for you to know that you need to make some adjustments or some changes? If you want to know more about that, I made a video about that, and I'll link it right here. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you'd like to see the way that we help people to create calmness and clarity for their next chapter of life, take a look at us at brindleandbay.com. Again, thanks for watching the videos. Please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time a new video comes out.